We hear more and more stories these days about sex trafficking, but we don't hear a whole lot about the people helping to combat this crime and save these children, teens, and adults. The first step is being educated on how to identify victims so they can get the help that they need and those predators can be brought to justice. Leading that fight is Stacey Sutherland and John Meza from the Arizona Anti Trafficking Network. Great to have both of you here. Stacey, what is the mission of this network?
So the mission of the Arizona Anti Trafficking Network is to educate, bring awareness, reduce demand, and do prevention efforts with our youth here in Arizona.
And this is all done through programs, a collaborative effort.
Yes, no one agency or organization can do this fight alone, so it really takes everyone to battle human trafficking here.
And John, you are a Mesa, former Mesa, retired Mesa fire chief, not fire chief, excuse me, police chief. I want you to talk specifically about the law enforcement training that goes into identifying these victims.
Well, really, the training has been crucial in opening the eyes of law enforcement that they have to put resources into this terrible crime. And it's really about identifying potential victims, identifying perpetrators that may be controlling people, young people, to get into sex trafficking, and really just the resources to go out and combat this terrible crime. Right. And really attack the demand.
Right, and in 2015, this network was formed and this effort began, and things are changing daily, it seems.
Oh, absolutely.
And one of the main things that I found, the misinformation that's out there in the public about how these young people are recruited into sex trafficking. Can you kind of dispel some of those myths?
Yeah, a lot of people actually think that a lot of the youth end up on the streets, and that's not necessarily true. There's many avenues that someone can be trafficked, but a majority of the grooming is actually happening online, whether that's through social media apps, other applications, Xboxes, PlayStations, anywhere where a lot of youth gather, and that's where these predators, exploiters, and traffickers are looking to groom children.
A lot of people are hearing that term grooming, okay? So what does that mean exactly?
So basically, they are looking for somebody that's vulnerable, and you can be vulnerable for a bunch of different reasons, and they're going to look to exploit that vulnerability. So let's say you come from a single family household, they're going to start to exploit you or look to exploit you by buying you things and exploiting you that way, giving you things you've never had.
That's scary. That is scary as a parent. You know, you're watching this video and you're seeing all of, you know, the racy things that go on social media. What can we do to protect our children?
I think one of the things that we can do to protect our children is to have these ongoing conversations. One-time conversation is just not going to be enough. We need to educate ourselves in what grooming looks like, and we need to check what our kids are doing on social media, because the apps change so fast. What's hot, they're going to be switching apps back and forth, and kind of monitoring them.
In ABC 15 Arizona, in partnership with the Hickey Family Foundation, we are taking action through this year-long human trafficking campaign, if you will. So if you can give us a piece of advice, John, as we're watching this morning, what's the one thing that we can do to help?
Well, it's the see something, say something approach. If you see something that is out of place where somebody could be potentially involved in trafficking, call your local police department. If you need resources, contact AATN. And really, for those, it's buyer beware. The police department throughout the state are taking action, and there's more and more operations where they're going to make sure that this crime doesn't continue.
Right, and a lot of people, they say sex trafficking, human trafficking, oh, it's in the parking lot at a store. That's not the case. You're saying it's coming right into our homes in some cases.
Oh, absolutely. So one of the officers we work with actually says the worst thing you could do is leave your children alone with a phone overnight in their bedroom alone. So that's why we encourage parents to have this continual conversation. Kids are naive. They don't believe that people that they're chatting with are bad people, and they're going to add people they don't know, and we don't know what the intention of those people are.
That's right. The luring changes each and every day. This network is incredible. We thank you for the work you're doing, and I'm taking my kids' phones out of their rooms tonight. Thank you so much. Always useful information, and for additional free resources on human trafficking, including myths, suggested reading, guides on talking to your kids and teens, please visit trustaz.org. You can also call the number on your screen, 1-844-400-2286.